Hey guys, the Conscious Philosopher here. Today I want to discuss what is often considered the greatest challenge to God's existence, the problem of evil, and why it's not actually a problem for theism, and if anything, a problem for atheism. The problem of evil is likely the most cited argument from atheists against the existence of God. It goes something like this: God is all good. Therefore, he hates evil and would stop evil. He is also omnipotent, all powerful. He can do anything. So, why is there evil in this world? If God is all good and all powerful, why doesn't he just stop the evil? Clearly, the existence of evil denies the existence of an omnibenevolent, omnipotent God. Now, it's important to recognize that to answer this very famous problem against theism, there are two stages or levels to answering the problem. The first one has to do with human evil. The second one has to do with natural evil. Now, the first part, human evil, is widely talked about in philosophical literature and mostly resolved. It's why among academics, the problem of evil isn't really cited as a problem or contention against theism. But the second part isn't talked about as much. And I actually offer a solution in this video that is completely my own thinking and would like to share it with you guys. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let's get into the problem of evil. The first stage in answering the problem of evil is understanding one key concept: free will. Free will is the idea that a certain entity could have done otherwise. For example, when a human goes to make a decision, it has two options, option A and option B. It chooses option B, but it could have chosen option A because it has free will. It is free to do so. But what's important to understand about free will is that with free will, logically comes evil. And because free will is inherently good and valuable, God has to allow evil to exist. Think about it. If God were to stop every act of evil in human history, such as Hitler's killing of the Jews, Stalin's initiation of war, etc., God would have to make sure that there was no free will for human beings. We'd have to be robots. Because if God intervened supernaturally at every single instant in order to stop us from making a bad or evil decision, then we really have no free will at all. We're forced and supernaturally obliged to do the good. The only way evil goes away is if free will is abolished. And because free will is inherently valuable and necessary, God permits for human evil to occur. Now, this does justify the vast majority of evil that we see in our day-to-day lives, but not all of it, because not all evil is the result of human free will. There is one type of evil, natural evil, that has no link to human free will. For example, an earthquake or a natural disaster. These things are evil in and of themselves, but they're mostly not because of human free will. So why does this exist? And this is the second stage of answering the problem of evil, answering the question about natural evil. If God is all powerful and all good, why doesn't he just end natural evil and maintain human-made evil? The answer also lies in a single term: predictability. Think about it. Why is science valuable or effective at all? It's because science is predictable. Gravity we are able to understand and measure because it is predictable, because it always happens. In fact, every single natural law, every natural force of the universe is predictable. We know what will happen and can calculate what will happen. That's why science and all of knowledge is effective, because it's based on predictability. But if God were to supernaturally intervene in order to stop every single natural disaster from the beginning of time, we wouldn't have science, or at least not in a working fashion. I mean, think about it. If God was supernaturally intervening at every single point in human history to stop every earthquake and tornado and hurricane and flood and every natural disaster, the forces of nature wouldn't be predictable. We'd be living in a world which was half governed by nature and laws and scientific progress, and another half which was just supernatural, magical intervention. But if we were living in such a world, we'd never be able to make scientific progress. In fact, we wouldn't even have science in the first place, because we'd be living in a reality which was fragmented, which wasn't predictable at all. We'd be spending our entire lives wondering when the magic will come and when it goes away. This predicament is why God also has to make sure that natural disasters happen, or at least he has to make sure that natural forces operate in the way they do. Because if God were to supernaturally intervene, predictability would be completely void in our world, and we wouldn't be able to do science, or in fact, any other epistemic activity. We require predictability. In other words, nature requires free will in order for us to gain knowledge. Think about it like this. In order for us to do science and any other epistemic activity, we require predictability. We need a natural world which is governed by a set of laws which are unbroken, which work every single time. If that's the case, God has to allow for natural disasters to occur, because natural disasters are the exact and direct result of fundamental, non-changing laws of nature. Thus, natural evil has to happen in order for us to do science and any other epistemic activity, because this unequivocally preserves predictability. So today we discussed the problem of evil and what's supposed to be the most powerful argument against the existence of God. We debunked it in two different stages, first discussing human evil and free will, then discussing natural evil and predictability. What did you guys think about these two ideas? Let me know in the comment section below and I'll be sure to reply. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content so that we can all become more conscious philosophers.